Just not that it's anything fancy to me. So what I have recently done is I have joined a posting pod, and you can find these through any of your, I even encourage like maybe all of us to do a pod. It's just hard because we don't want to attract each other. We want to attract like other people. So like right now I'm in like it's not fashion. It's like, it's this group of moms / people that I found. I followed one of the moms on Instagram, and she was like doing a follow Friday. And I was like, how do you do that? And she was like, oh, I'm part of a posting pod. And she was like, do you want to be added in? And I was like, hell yeah. So I'm like the only fitness person in there, which is so awesome because I am going and it takes a little bit of time, and I'm going and liking all of their stuff, but then in return, they're coming back liking all of my stuff. So then all of their followers are seeing that they're liking my stuff. So then obviously their followers are coming to me. Literally, I've been doing this 2 days, but I've seen my engagement, 1, bump up, and 2, I've seen new faces on my stories and on my posts just from the past 2 days. So that's the only thing I can correlate it to. I am not doing Stim Social anymore. I am not doing Jumper Media, anything like that. I'm also taking time out of like my work sessions, like not much time, and maybe even just a little bit of time at night to go find some people that I like to follow and then following their followers. I know it takes a lot more time, but these people are more genuine and I'm making real connections with them. Also, searching hashtags, putting different hashtags into your posts. I have a list right here, and I literally just keep it right up here, and depending on what kind of post I make will depend on what kind of hashtag I do. I'll put anywhere between 10 and 15 hashtags in, and a lot of them are still relating to, Christine can't figure out how to use the camera. They're all relating to moms, pregnancy, working, stuff like that. And I just mix it up all the time. They say if you use the same ones every single post, that's not good, but to mix them up in the realm of things. So if you go into, and if I'm talking too fast, you can tell me to slow down. If you go into your Instagram and you kind of like just search somebody that you like, maybe it's a teacher, maybe it's a mom, maybe it's this, maybe it's that, but just go in and look at the hashtags they're using and then click on one of them, and more suggestions will pop up. You want hashtags that are anywhere between like 10,000 and 20,000 is what I find works best. Of course, somebody else could tell you, no, you're going to want hashtags between this and this, but that is what has worked best for me. So like things that I've been finding are like Mommy to be 2019, second pregnancy, my name is Mama. Some that I didn't even know were out there were like Mom Zone. What did I add today? Life with Littles, My Mamahood. Like they're just so different that they're just enough different that I'm not getting the typical like hashtag girl mom, hashtag love and life, or so, I don't know, just like those typical ones. So like you could go in and search hashtag special educator, and then go in and see, you know, what other people are using. So that's just what's been working for me. It might take some work on your end to put together a posting pod, or reach out to some teachers that are trying to grow teachers, moms, event planner, like whatever your niche is, what has been working for me. When I talked to Ashley Ference about 2 weeks ago, I said, you're so close to 10,000. What are you doing? And she said, honestly, I've just been making my photos more legit. Like I have been adding a filter to them, making it consistent. I have been taking just a variety of different pictures and making my Instagram look really nice. She said she is using Jumper Media. She said she's not having, she's getting her followers up, but her engagement like isn't that great. So it doesn't sound like it's the best option. Like I would not waste your money. I know Cynthia has done it, and she has said she probably will not do it again once her free trial is up. Stim is great if you want to get your numbers up, but again, it's like unless you're going to sit there and really, really work on hashtags, it's not worth it. You paid $600. It's not worth it. The girls that I am in are saying that you have to go in and constantly interact. There's this one other girl that I just talked to the other day. Her name is Babe Freeze or something. I don't even know. But I was like, hey, like we are following each other. She's super cute. And she used to be a Beachbody coach. She's like, oh, I'm not doing it anymore. I said, you just hit 10,000. How did you do it? She's like, literally one follower at a time. She was like, just being genuine, just commenting and liking and interacting on other people's stuff, because the way the algorithm is working right now on Instagram is that, hey, girlfriend. Okay. Is that they want to see you liking and commenting on other people's stuff, and then they're gonna reward you by showing your stuff to those people that you're liking, if that makes sense. So that's what I found has been working. Literally, I've been using it for 2 days, like doing this system, so don't quote me on that. But just like changing up your stuff, I found also, and I know this is kind of like short and sweet posts are way better than long posts, because hey bud, I was waving at you. People, all they want to do is see a pretty picture, and if they see that pretty picture and it catches their eye, then they're more likely to stop and look. But if there's a really long post to go along with it, like I'm the same way, I will not read it. So make sure you're spacing out your stuff. Make sure. Today, literally, I could have made that post way longer. It said something about like I paid $160 to for a health and fitness thing, changed my life. What's your excuse? And that was it. And so I think it didn't even have a picture to do with health and fitness. Like it was just a picture of me. And I think it kind of like helped people get to it. I don't know. We'll see. Rachel, did you watch the training that Rachel did? Was it helpful? Yeah. So Rachel Baldwin just did a training about Instagram and what she's been doing. So if you want me to tag you in that, I can tag you in it and you can look at it. It's in FlexForce Fam, I think. One of the things that is working for me right now is the notebook challenge in a way. So it is, I know that Cynthia is doing the card system and that is working. It's literally just about being consistent. And I would say till I'm blue in the face, like I'm being consistent. I'm posting every day. I'm messaging the people that like my stuff. But when it came down to it, like I wasn't messaging enough people. And that's literally what it is it's a numbers game, and you just need to be like, messaging people. And as much as it sucks, like I get it. It is hard. It is hard to constantly get nothing back. It's hard to constantly get no's, but and it doesn't matter if I'm following up with them or if I am sending them an invite, I'm writing their name down. So every single day, and it might look different for you depending on what you want to do, but you could do it 3 times a week. You could do it 5 times a week. You could do it every single day of the week. But I have been doing this notebook challenge, and literally it just holds me more accountable whether I post it in FlexForce Fam or not. I have been writing down all of the people that I send messages to. When they message me back, I put a star next to their name, and then I know to go follow up with them. And then I'll highlight girls. I'm going to come up with like a better system because I'm going to use this as like my tracking system instead of using like TeamZ or Streak or whatever. I know, again, if anybody has been doing the card system, I'm sure that is good too. I just can't wrap my head around like the 10 people. I don't know. I think this will end up going into like note cards, but right now it's just on paper. And honestly, it has to be what works for you in your brain, because what works for one of us is not going to work the same for everybody else. So I challenge you to try it. Try to write down how many people you're sending invites to, or even messaging on a daily basis, because I was like, yeah, I'm sending out 20 messages a day easily. And so then I like literally write down the girls on my list. I'm like, yeah, I've sent 20 messages.
Hey,
what?
I'm doing
Okay, ask daddy. He'll play with you. And I wrote it down. I'm like, oh, that was only 10 messages. Like, I think we just get so in the grain of like, oh, I'm sending messages. Oh, I messaged all the people that liked my post. Oh, all the people that like, when it comes down to it, you've probably clicked on them and said, oh, I sent them a message not too long ago, or, oh, I'm not going to ask them because X, Y, or Z, like whatever it may be. So then you don't end up messaging that many people, even though you think in your brain that you are. So that's where I have really cracked down the last few weeks. And when I get 10 minutes, I sit down and invite. At the end of the night, I sit down and invite anybody who's liked my stuff, anybody who's liked my posts or my stories or anything like that. And I'm not saying like, oh my gosh, do you want to join my virtual gym? I literally message them and just say, you know, thank you so much for the love on my post. Where are you from? And then they say where they're from. And then I say, do you work out too? Because obviously you see that I work out too. Or if you want to add some, a lot of times I try to add something a little bit more personal, and I'll say, you know, I see that you do X, Y, or Z, or, oh, I saw that you had a Ray Dunn cup. I love Ray Dunn too. Do you work out too? Like, I just try to connect us in some way before really jumping into a sale, if you want to call it. But I talked to a girl today on a different team, and she was saying she hits Success Club. She's hit Success Club 19 consecutive months. And I'm like, what are you doing? And she was like, oh, I'm just messaging people, but I don't message that many people. And I was like, okay, so how are you getting them? She's like, well, I'm just waiting them to come to me. And I'm like, well, how long does that take you? She's like, well, it took me a while. And she's still just sitting right at Diamond. Like, she's not anything crazy. She said she hits anywhere between Success Club 4 and 14 every single month, which is so great. Like, I would love to do that, but I think what it comes down to is being consistent and constantly messaging, inviting people. So if I just, like, for poops and giggles, I'm going to go over to Krishna's page right now, and she has 761 followers. So out of those 761 followers, every day I would just chip away. I would just message those people. And if you're like, this is a dude, and like, I would just block them, like, give them your chance. But take 10 to 15 minutes every single day. I see that we're following each other, or I see that you're following me. Thanks so much for, you know, checking out my journey, or whatever it may be. Do you work out too? Literally. And just copy, paste to anybody that looks like they are yours, like your tribe, your kind of person, and write them down. Any person that messages you back, give them a little star. Whether you want, it depends on what you feel natural with. If you want to go right into an invite, go for it. If you want to sit and chat with them for a little bit longer, go for it. Whatever works for you. But I've gone back and forth on this, and I'm at the point in my business where, like, I want to push so hard, and the only thing that I have seen that I have not been consistent with is messaging. I will post every day. I will show up on my stories every day. You know, I'll take a break here or there. But the one thing I have not been consistent with is messaging and inviting to this opportunity. Like, I suck at it, and I'm straight out, like, I know I do. And that's because, one, getting a lot of no's and getting a lot of no answers back is taxing, and it sucks. And I totally get that. But that's when I sit down at the end of the day, what is moving my business forward? Making a pretty graphic or sending out 10 invites? That's what I've been thinking about at the end of the day. So it does. I don't want to say it takes a lot, but it just takes that consistency piece. So I hope that was helpful. I was like, what is on my, it really doesn't matter what it comes down to. Like, you guys can make your posts, you can do your things, but if you're not inviting people, they're not going to know about it. And that's literally what it is. And I know it's the hardest part of coaching, but if you're not talking about it, if you're not, like, I made a poll yesterday about joining my virtual gym. I had 9 people vote on it. I messaged every single one of them, and guess what? No one responded back. Not one. And they all commented on the poll saying, oh my gosh, this sounds great. Like, heck, girls, we have people in the virtual gym. We have 53 people in the virtual gym, and all of us post. That's it. Like, what? I'm about to get real, not like nasty, but it's just like, guys, we need to hold each other accountable. And how do you expect to be in a community like this when you're not going to participate? I understand that you're seeing the posts, and that's what all of them tell me. I see the posts. I'm so motivated by it. Great. Well, like, what about all of us that are putting all of our self into it and you're not giving anything back? Like, it's frustrating because, and I might just be speaking from myself, but like, I see Meredith post, I see Krishna post, I see Erica post, I see this girl Katie Kelly post, obviously Cynthia, Michelle, and Christina, I know you're in a different group, but it's frustrating for them to say, I want to do this, I want to see this, and you see them show up for a week, and then you're like, dude, you could be changing your life. You guys know firsthand what these programs and these products do. And when you see people just drop off, it is beyond frustrating. So even customers that we have are having a hard time, like, sticking into something. So it's just like finding, they need to see it to believe it. And if they're not going to make that commitment to themselves, like, that's their own fault. They're losing out. And more than ever, like, this opportunity is like, anybody can do it and anybody can see results if they just stick to it and they actually do it. That's why I like this, is because I was like, give me 30 days. I'm going to prove to you that this program sucks and that nothing works. And I did it for 30 days. I did the shakes for 30 days. I stopped the shakes for 30 days to see if anything. And let me tell you, during this pregnancy, I have not been very consistent with them, and my belly has been all sorts of issues. But this stuff, like, we're not out here selling crap. Like, we're not here like, here you go, here's this new diet pill you're going to take for 6 weeks and you're going to be thin and trim. Like, no, we're giving people a freaking lifestyle that if they just take it and do something with it, they could change their lives, and they just don't realize it. And it bugs the heck out of me, especially lately. Like, so many people are like, oh, this sounds great, but I just don't have the money, or I just don't have the time. I'm like, girl, if you're not going to change anything in your life, nothing's going to change. And that's, I don't know if you guys have seen, but that has been like the common, like, trend on my thing is like, we all need to be supporting each other. And if you're not going to support me, like, I'm on a journey too, and I need your support too. Like, as your coach, I need, or as like you guys, but also like everybody in the virtual gym. And that's what just drives me insane. Like, I don't know. So, Erica, I think we should all be supportive, but I also think I totally agree. And I think that is totally fine, that if you come to me and you're like, listen, I just want something that's like a little part-time. I have one girl, Julie, she's the greatest, but she's like, you know, I like my burgers and I like to go to the gym and lift heavy weights, but the days that I do like Beachbody workouts, I freaking love them. But she was upfront with me and told me, she was like, I probably won't participate a ton, da, 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 da. And then I have other girls that are like, I want to do this, I want to dive in, I think I want to end up doing coaching, and then they don't post, or they cancel their Shakeology. Like, I get the whole, like, canceling Shake, like, I get that it's expensive, I get that people need to take breaks, I totally understand that, but it's just frustrating, not even from a money standpoint or a coaching standpoint. I just hate seeing all of these people dropping off the face of the earth and not even giving this a chance. And I know it's with anything. And I know that certain diets right now are getting like really big reps. Like, It Works is really pushing keto. Everybody that I talk to from It Works is pushing keto. And that's because they have all these, I guess they don't really have shakes. They have like these power sticks and these other things, and they're promoting keto. And that's what everybody is about right now, is like keto, keto, keto. And that's great if that's what you want to do. But that's where I think that like this is a whole package. And I think some people, for like medical reasons, or you're getting really good results, or it just makes you feel good. Like, I know like Tina had really good results with keto for her endometriosis. I know, Krishna, you do keto, but like, you're not over here pushing keto down people's throats. Like, you're just doing what betters you. And if someone were to come to you and say, well, what would you recommend? Like, I know you wouldn't be like, do keto. Like, it would literally be like, this is what I've done. These are the other options that you have. Like, you know, so it's just like, I'm just even seeing different people, different companies like doing this. So anyway, it makes me sad. So if anybody wants to unmute themselves, we can have this conversation. But just getting yourself out there, like if you believe in this, people are going to see that. But if you're not showing that you believe in this, like people are going to see that. And I even say I've had a lot of It Works people lately, or Herbalife people lately that I've been messaging. I'm like, oh, do you work out too? And they're like, well, I just started going to the gym. Or, oh, well, I don't work out. What are you doing? Chris is over here videotaping me as I have my hand like resting in my belly. Oh, Emmett's watching me on a Zoom call right now. Chris is being my photographer at the moment. Oh, he said he wasn't being a douche. But a lot of them are saying, you know, I'm just going to the gym. I'm like, oh, that's cool. What are you doing at the gym? They're like, oh, you know, just using a treadmill. I'm like, have you ever thought about Beachbody? And they're like, oh no, I don't want to get into that. I do It Works. And I'm like, okay, well, just know that even just the workouts are an option. But just even being open to that with people, I am totally fine. I get that shakes don't work for everybody. If you just want to sign up and change your meal plans or your workouts, I'm totally fine with that too. So I think just being open, and maybe that's something I need to work on, is being more open to people. Like, I don't care what you do as long as you stick with something. Like, don't be saying you're going to do this 1 week and that 1 week and this, I don't know. So anyway, that's my rant. Anybody can, yeah, go for it.
I've talked to a ton of people. I think that all the different diets that are out there, I don't know where my list is, but I have a list here. Everything from It Works to keto to Weight Watchers to Whole20. I can't even count how many people. And my first question to them is, when they do all that, is, are you under a doctor's care, or are you doing it by choice? Like, and if they're under a doctor's care, that's one thing. But if they're doing it by choice, you know, then my next question is, well, are you doing it just for a diet to get to where you want to be, or are you doing it for the rest of your life? And I find that most of the people are like, well, I just want to lose weight. And that's good if they want to lose weight and they're going to get there. But what are they going to do once they get to their goal? Are they going to stay there, or are they going to stay doing that, you know, the Whole30 or the keto or the Atkins or whatever all of those are? Like, is that something they can do for the rest of their lives? And a lot of them are like, well, I don't know, find out when I get there. I'm like, well, all right. So, I mean, I know that that's a big challenge for the things people I've been talking to. Someone today just said to me, well, are your programs keto friendly? I'm like, well, you can make them keto friendly if that's what you want to do. I said, there's nothing saying that you can't change or keep what you're doing. So I really think it just depends on all that. But on a side note, I don't know how many of you guys go into Sweat Society, but I wanted to do a little shout out. Today they posted in their flyers. So Stephanie Mello Corey, you are in the 250 club. Michelle Lorero, you're in the 250 club. I'm in the 250 club. And actually all of us are over 300. And I don't recognize any other names that are popping out to me, but if you think you're over the 250 club, congrats to everybody. But it was posted today.
And you were a top coach this week, so congrats to you.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
That's for volume points.
Correct.
So yes. It's how many volume points that you guys have accruing on your team is what that means. So people doing stuff like that. Sorry, I'm still trying to eat my dinner. People ordering, people place, literally it's like people placing orders and stuff. So right. When you hit Emerald, you start accruing team volume. And so once you get that team volume, that's when you can see those like volume points, which is right. What we all would like to see. And then obviously that 250 equates to money, and the $14 a cycle. And that's how that whole cycling thing works.
Yes, she just does it weekly.
Yep.
She does the 250, she does the 500, and she does the 1,000. But this was the one that I got today. And then obviously she did the top 10 this week.
Mhm.
And then I don't know, Steph, if you saw or if anybody saw, how many of us that are on have not ever hit Success Club 5?
Oh yeah, I wanted to see this.
Okay, so they just came out with, for the month of February, if you hit SC5 this month, the total month, this month, coaches who've missed the opportunity to qualify for the Success Starter program have the opportunity to restart the clock. Coaches who have never earned a Success Club point but qualify for Success Club for the first time in February will be eligible to access the exclusive video with VP of Field Development and Strategy, and one of the two with Kim Carver and 2009 top 10 elite coach, as well as part of the Success Starter program. Coaches who also qualify for Success Club in March and April get a free ticket to Summit.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of just giving you guys a little extra incentive, but if you've never hit it, it might be something for February just to kind of push you to, because you'd get, to be a part of that. So
I wish that they had that when I started, because there was, I guess I hit it my first and second month, but the third month I didn't hit it. But it's definitely cool, because if you hit like Success Club 2 or Success Club, whatever, you could start over and try it again.
Right.
Definitely cool. So definitely try to hit those, because
yeah. So that's all I saw that was interesting this week. With that, and then obviously the Fix launch. Is anybody considering doing the Fix training?
21-day Fix?
Yeah, they have the Ultimate Portion Fix launch and training coming out this Friday. They're doing a pre-launch to give us all the information on how that's going to work. So you could be certified for that, and for those of us that are certified to be, you can actually be certified in both.
I was thinking about doing it.
Yeah, I've used the container system, and I really, really like it. And I know Autumn was retaping 21-day Fix as well, so I was looking into doing that.
Yeah, I'm not talking about, I was talking in general about the food portion, not so much the 21-day Fix program, the workout program. I'm talking about the food program, but I just wasn't sure who was going to do it. I guess the next question becomes, is they haven't released how much it's going to be, and if you need to pay a monthly fee to stay certified with that.
Right. Yeah. It might be interesting. I mean, if it's something that, Krista, you said you might want to do it. I mean, it looks, if that's something that works for you. Like, I know the 2B Mindset works really well with you, and I don't like it. It's just,
I like the 2B Mindset, and I have Hashimoto thyroidism.
Yeah.
And I think that 21-day Fix would ride along with a lot of the girls, because they're all doing the keto and all that other, I don't know, there's some other diet called LID or something or APO or something like that. I haven't looked into it. But, I mean, you can't live like that. There's just no way. So I'm thinking the 2B Mindset and the 21-day Fix will definitely help me with my clientele.
Yeah. I think I like the structure of the containers, and I think a lot of people need the structure of the containers versus just like the portion percentages. And that works for a lot of people. A lot of people have seen a lot of good success with 2B Mindset. I think, again, it's just
What works?
Where they're at. Yeah. So.
No, I agree.
Cool.
How's everybody's, who else is doing Team Cup stuff? You have a Team Cup, right? Who's on your Team Cup?
Meredith and Erica and Catherine, and we have a girl, Bobby.
Yeah, how are you guys all doing?
Good.
Good.
We're all just chugging along.
I've gotten a lot of, I can't afford that right now, or let me talk to my husband, and then not respond. So that's not very helpful, but that's where I'm at.
Do you follow up with them when they don't message you back after they say, let me talk about it?
I try to wait, 5-ish days.
Yep.
And usually I haven't forgotten about you. We're just, not ready, or still discussing, or we don't have money right now.
Yep. So someone today told me to not fight back, but say back, what can you afford? and start there and see kind of, because she said you're kind of questioning them and kind of backing them not into a corner, but making them realize what the real reason they're not signing up is, because a lot of times it's not money. So maybe try something like that. If they say it's too much money, just say, oh, well, what would be a reasonable amount to be able to sign up? Or like, is there something I can meet you with halfway kind of a thing? I don't know, just something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most people are getting donkeys every day, if not twice a day, $3 minimum every time they go.
Yep.
So if they cut out that one time a day or a couple times a week, they'd be able to afford it.
Right. And I always say to like take a peek at your grocery bill too, because obviously Shakeology you can make as a meal replacement and it brings in nutrients, and you can use that.
Yeah, that's a good one. Or lunch. I do it for lunch because I just don't have time at my desk.
Or you're not buying junk. Like you're not buying junk at the grocery
right.
store on a meal plan. So you're focused on that and you're not just buying random stuff at the grocery store.
I think another thing is just, can y'all hear me?
Yeah.
I unmuted it. Yeah. I think another thing is just, like, for me personally, I try not to focus on the people that say no. I still try to maintain a relationship with them.
Mm-hmm.
But, I mean, if you say no right now, on to the next. Like, the way – so my husband, he's a salesman, and he has this mentality, like, I'm looking for who has my money. Because I don't know about y'all, but I don't have a job, or like I don't work outside the home. So for me, it's like, okay, it's not you, next. You know what I mean? So I try not to focus on the no's. I know that they come more than the yeses, but it's a numbers game, and you have to be willing to play it.
I also I love that, and it's so true, and it's always no, not right now. Like I haven't very rarely had like a no way, like never will I do this. It's normally like not right now for people, because they want to watch you. They want to make sure that this is legit what you're doing. I mean, heck, all of you watched me for how long? Like, it's so true. Like, you wanted to make sure, and I reached out to you, and Cynthia posted something the other day, like, the fortune is in the follow-up. Like, these people are not going to say no, so, like, connecting with them, and even just connecting with them on a personal level, I know Erica and I have been able to connect with a lot of people lately, pregnant-wise, and I know I've talked to people just about pregnancy and, oh, how are you feeling? Oh, I wish I had the motivation you did. Oh, da, da, da. But I know, because we've talked about it, when 3 months after delivery, when they're ready to start, feeling like they want to do something, they're probably going to come to me because I sat there and talked to them through their whole pregnancy. Or they're going to say, oh, that Erica girl, she's having twins. I'm having twins. I totally want to connect with her. Like, it's just who people find that relationship with. And even if you're not, like you said, getting a yes, maybe don't okay, on to the next. Like, maybe you stop talking to them about that, but like talk to them about something else, and maybe eventually they'll come around. Like, I don't know. It's just
right.
It's what works. Like, I mean, Catherine, you have all of the military. Sorry, Charlotte is now playing that. Like the military, and like they have such a good way to like sign up without a with the discount. They don't have to pay like the coach. They could just sign up as a coach and not have to pay that and get the discount. That's how Kathy Landecker, how she got all of her coaches. They're all challengers, but they sign up as coaches because they get the discount. Oh my Lord, this child. Hey, can you go over there for like 2 more minutes? Go see. Oh, is Daddy in the bathroom? Daddy's in the bathroom. But no, I just think another thing, and this is kind of like where I'll leave it, is you guys need to be honest with yourselves and where you want this business to go. If you want it to be a hobby and you want it to be something that just you love doing because you like doing it, and if you inspire somebody, great, and if you make a little money, great, then that's great. And at one point, like, I was there, and now I'm at this point where I'm like, I want to do this, and I want to make an income, and I want to be able to get my family out of like debt. Like that's what I want to do. And it was so, I like cried on a call the other day because some girl was talking, I think it was actually Kate Morgan. She was talking about her why, and you need to figure out your why so that you can focus on that instead of your how. And she was like, I'm not focused on the fact that I want to stay home with my babies. She's like, I'm focused on the fact that when I have a 1-year-old and he or she wants me to go on his or her school field trip, I'm able to go. And me and my husband are able to. Mommy and daddy are both able to be there. And I was like, that is so true. Like, it's not the fact that I want to be able to stay home with Charlotte because I'm like, oh, I just want to be a stay-at-home mom. Like, that's what I want to do. Like, I want to be able to experience all those things with her and be able to go on field trips and do things with her. And so just really think about why are you doing this? Are you doing this to better yourself and hopefully inspire some others? Yeah, like totally. Are you, just think of what level it is that you want to be at and how quickly you want to get to that level, because I also want to be able to support you as a coach, as you guys being my coaches, but I can't support you if I don't know where you're at. And I don't care where you want to be at. Like, I want to support you wherever that is. If you want to stay a hobby discount coach, like, that's great. If you want to build an empire, that's fabulous too. But I need to know to help you. And like, my phone is open anytime. Like, my messenger is open anytime. Sorry, I'm nasally now. But literally, like, I am here to even just chat. It does not have to be Monday night. Like, I love just bouncing ideas off of each other and, doing these things. Like, I did this because I wanted to better myself, but also better you guys so that, like, in all, we could better a ton of people. So just remember that. All right. I'm going to quickly put up a little pic so y'all can smile. And this is going to end within like a few seconds, but literally, if anybody needs anything, please reach out. I hate to keep bugging you guys to be like, hey, do you need this? Hey, do you need that? Because if you don't want it, like, it's just annoying. Like, I know when I have people like, hey, have you done this? I'm like, no, I don't want to do that. So stop bugging me. So just let me know. Running a coaching sneak peek Thursday and Friday. I know Catherine and Meredith have said they wanted in on it. So if anybody else wants in, let me know and I'll get you added in so that you can add people in. And